Hi guys, it's David, and today I'm at the Liverpool Philharmonic Hall with Vicki Ciaputa, who is the Youth Ensembles Manager of the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra. So thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
So first question is, what does a Youth Ensembles Manager do?
Good question. A Youth Ensembles Manager looks after our youth orchestra, our youth choir. We also look after two children's choirs as well, which is our Melody Makers and our children's choir. And we also have a variety of other activities that go on top of that, which we call our youth company here at Liverpool. And that's things like masterclasses, workshops, careers days like we've got tomorrow, and lots of other activities that will help develop your skills and make you a better musician and also a better young person as well, we hope.
Oh, brilliant. Is it important for young people to have access to things like masterclasses? What benefits would you get from those sort of things?
Definitely. I think if you are serious about developing your technical skill and also about learning from other people, it's all well and good having a really inspirational and amazing teacher that you work with every week, but to get lots of other perspectives on things, someone could be trying to explain something to you and he just cannot get it, but to get another person's point of view, actually that might just be the right way of describing it to you that makes a beautiful sound for you or makes you have a different connection with your instrument or your voice or whatever it might be. So to get lots of different perspectives and also to get the point of views of international artists as well. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity that we're able to offer.
Definitely. Do you find that a lot of people who come in here haven't had access to the international artists and things before?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the young people who come into our youth orchestra and our youth choir, they've come from their school bands or from the music service or the music hub or from different activities they've done, maybe church choir or something like that. So they're coming from kind of a community base and a really dedicated teacher, either their instrument teacher or their school teacher, who've gone, you're amazing, this is what you should be doing, and pointed them to us. So to take them to that next level, that's what it's all about. So they're getting lots and lots of input from people who are really at the top of their game.
That's fantastic. I imagine for people coming here for the first time, it's quite an exciting experience as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So do you find it's quite rewarding work, having seen people come in at the beginning of sort of your youth system here and who will grow all the way through for a few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So our Melody Makers, they start at the age of 7 doing their singing, and they perform at Liverpool Philharmonic Hall every Christmas and probably another concert in the year as well. We try and programme something else for them too. And then our youth choir finishes at the age of 18. So you can be singing with us with our ensembles from 7 to 18. The youth orchestra, we go from 12 all the way up to 23. So that's an amazing journey when you're trying to figure out if you want to progress with your instrument to those middle grades and maybe actually just developing your ensemble skills. Actually, you can go through university, you could go to college, you could be out the other side of it and you could still be with Liverpool Philharmonic. So we're very, very proud of that.
I imagine there'd be quite a strong link to Liverpool itself as a city then, having this sort of connection with young people from the area for such a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. The youth orchestra's been going for a very, very long time. Our patron is actually Sir Simon Rattle, and he was in the youth orchestra a very long time ago. So, well, not very long, a little bit a while ago.
Yeah.
But everywhere I go...
He's gone grey now, I think it's acceptable to say.
The truth is that everywhere I go, I meet somebody who has either been in the youth orchestra here, it was previously Merseyside Youth Orchestra, so there's a huge amount of people who have a real love and a passion and a lovely memory of being part of that ensemble in the city. We're very, very proud to be part of Liverpool. A lot of people look to us as a really important part of the city, that people will come and have their first experience of classical music with us, whether that's playing their instrument or coming to a concert or coming to a school's concert or whatever it might be. A lot of people have childhood memories of us, so it's really nice.
So obviously that's a lot about what's going on with the youth ensembles here, but as someone who works in the arts, what exactly do you do on a day-to-day basis as someone who works in administration and in education?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously working in administration, there's a lot of kind of officey based work, so you're doing a lot of scheduling and programming, and a lot of the work that we do is about communication. So it's about trying to make sure that everybody's in the right place at the right time with the right thing, which it can be a bit complicated and can be a bit confusing, but it is really rewarding when you get there and you're like, oh, it's gone perfectly, it's so amazing. Working in education, obviously you're working with children and young people, and that's brilliant. That's a really lovely experience. If you're interested in seeing people grow, if you've had a really important experience as a young person or as a child, then actually to give that experience to other children and young people, that's a really nice feeling. So that's brilliant. From a kind of rehearsal perspective, there's lots of evenings and weekends, so we do lots of rehearsals, we do lots of concerts, bit of stage management type stuff, making sure everybody's okay and everybody's having a good time. I think that's the big part of the job, but that's not a bad bit either. It's a good bit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, I know when I was younger, I thought, arts administration is something I wouldn't be interested in. And then I grew up and it's something that I'm now really interested in. So for you, what do you think are the benefits of working in arts administration as opposed to playing, or do you do bits of both and bits of music at the same time as well?
I think probably the most important thing is that you can be doing something every day that's something you're really passionate about. So I was doing music for a very long time. I was doing music when I was a teenager, and I was then able to put my passion into my everyday job. So every day when you rock up, it's different, it's interesting, it's exciting. No day is the same, absolutely not. If you want like an easy life, then this is not the way. Yeah, absolutely, but it is never dull. There's something always happening, and that's really exciting. And if you want something that you want to get up every single day and be excited to go to work, then yeah, absolutely. And I think you still feel hands-on as well. It's not just sitting in the office. I think when people hear administration, they go, "Ooh, God, I don't want to be sat in a cupboard with a laptop." No, it's you are hands-on and you are meeting people, and you get to do some pretty cool gigs as well. It's very, very exciting.
Do you find that even though perform music's really exciting, the facilitating projects is even more of a thrill for you?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. I think I've worked with a lot of artists and a lot of conductors and things like that, and I think that the big thing that I get from it is that my job is about making sure that they don't have to think about anything else. All they do is just be amazing, and if they've got stuff to worry about, they're not going to be as amazing as they could be. So when you've put something together like that, when you've put a project together and you see someone out there and you see the product that they've put together and the amazing young people that they're working with, or the pros they're working with, or whatever, and that product there, that can't have happened without you. And sometimes it's difficult to remember that when you're backstage, but it's definitely true. Every call you've had to make, every email you've sent, every piece of photocopying you've done, actually it's all been integral to making something amazing. So the better the project is, I think the bigger your heart is in how that has come out. It's brilliant.
Just you're really invested in these things.
Absolutely.
Blood, sweat and tears.
Definitely.
So say someone's watching this and going, I'd love to be a part of arts administration, I want to help facilitate these projects and see them come to fruition, and they're looking at going to university. What would be your advice to them, and also what was your path into this?
Well, I'll do it the other way around. So my path, I started doing singing when I was younger. I started when I was 10, doing some singing lessons, doing bits and pieces of learning music. I was learning the violin, did a little bit of piano, all that kind of thing. I did GCSE music. I went and then did A-level music. And I had a really good think about what I wanted to do. I was thinking, do I want to go and do performance? Do I want to go and do something else? I was really torn. I went and did a little bit of auditioning, and actually it turned out that wasn't quite the thing for me. But I think it's really important to stretch yourself and push yourself, and when music is your passion, performance is a huge part of that. So I think it's important to see how good you can be, and part of my passion for that after that was being able to facilitate things. So I was still singing in amateur choirs, really good amateur choirs, and making sure that I was doing a bit of solo stuff and keeping my skills up, keeping to developing myself. But what I got a thrill out of was making sure that everything worked right.
Yes.
Making sure everything was smooth, making sure everybody had what they needed, because I'm just quite a naturally organised person. I want things to be right. So I ended up running a few bits and pieces, doing a little bit of stage management stuff. I put on a couple of my own shows. I was also doing some amateur theatre stuff when I was in my teens as well. So producing a few shows, directing a few things. So kind of in that world of production and backstage all the time, really. I actually went to Manchester University and did a history degree. So yeah, a bit off-piste really. But,
I did 1 year of a history degree.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Something about it in the arts.
Well, yeah, yeah. But I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it, and I definitely think that there are elements of my job now that I couldn't have done without having my degree, and I was, I really, really enjoyed it. It was brilliant. But I was always doing music. Like when I wasn't doing my studying for my history and in my lectures and things, I was in the music department constantly. All my friends are from music. All the activities I was doing were shows and stuff like that. So I was keeping working in music and in drama all the time, because that's what I loved. It was like a really intense hobby.
Yes.
So that then when I was in my third year, I actually was lucky enough to start working at the Halle, and I was doing a day and a half a week with them, working with their children's choir. And so I was doing that alongside finishing off my degree.
It sounds like a short time, but when you're at university, it actually is quite a commitment to do a full day and a half.
Yeah, and a full year as well. It was a year-long contract, so I was kind of going, ooh, I don't really know how this is going to go, and is everything going to balance? And like you said, the workload in your third year just sort of mounts up. So, but I was like, I'm just going to give it a go and sort of see what happens. And it was great. It was a bit of a balancing act, but it was worth it, because then when I graduated, they kept me on, so I had a little bit of work to kind of get me going, and then, as always kind of tends to happen once you're in an organisation, it just sort of snowballed into, oh, we've got half a day of work, I wonder if Vicki can do that, oh, somebody's gone on maternity leave, I wonder if Vicki can do that, and always saying yes to things. I think that's my mantra, really. Just say yes to everything, take every opportunity you possibly can. And you never know where it will lead you, but it's probably going to lead you to a really, really good place if you just leap and just take the chance. It's definitely a good way to do it.
Definitely. That's such a great little sort of bit to end on in terms of advice. Yeah. But it seems sort of taking the leap, the next step. What are the main things with the youth ensembles that you're really looking forward to and that are really exciting for the youth ensembles here?
The youth company activity that we have got going on, we've been doing that for about 18 months now. That is in addition to our really traditional youth orchestra and youth choir. And the idea around that is that it helps you develop your skills a little bit more, so your technical ability, things like the masterclasses we spoke about before. We're also putting together new ensembles. So last year we did a big band project. We're going to be doing that again next year. And it was kind of started off quite small last year. There was about 10 people. But I've had so many people come back to me and go, oh, we need to do it again. It was so amazing. It's going to be brilliant. And people trying to get involved with us because they've heard we're doing a big band project. So that's quite exciting. We're also going to be putting together more contemporary ensemble as well. So we've got the amazing Ensemble 1010 here. So something along those lines of going, we've got these amazing young people. They're really highly skilled. We know that this is an area that unless you do a specific ensemble for it, it's really quite difficult to get into youth orchestra repertoire with everything else that you want to kind of do in those big ensembles. So how can we get that going as well? And also our Rush with Young composers, who are just flying at the moment. We have 3 young people right now who are writing new music, being tutored by professional composers. Wow. It's just amazing, the stuff they are coming out with, and they're so young. I've got a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, and it's just crazy. They're producing the most beautiful music. They are leading rehearsals, they're conducting their pieces, and we're just halfway through their year now, so I can't wait to see what the spring and the summer will bring for them.
Amazing. It sounds like there's so much going on here. It's absolutely fantastic. So if someone wants to find out more about Liverpool Phil and what's going on in the youth department, where would they go?
Well, there's 2 things they can do. They can check us out at liverpoolphil.com. Also, if you look up our Twitter, which is at liverpoolphiled, We are always tweeting constantly about exciting things we've got going on, photos about rehearsals and events, and also talking about things that are coming up in the future, things you can sign up for too.
Brilliant, and I'll put all the links for those in the description as well, just to make life a bit easier. So just to finish, it's now time for your rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Ready?
First record I bought, Smash Hits 95. Daruflo Requiem. Pulse.
Good answer.
My Kindle. My phone. Can you have people? Can you have people and animals?
Animals will have.
Okay, my cat.
Yes.
I can't say the husband. That doesn't count, does it? God, this is really hard. Some kind of device for making water. I feel like that should be on there. Yeah. And come on, let's be practical. And a notebook and pen. Melting a whole bar of chocolate and eating it all melted whilst watching an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I blame my dad entirely for this, but definitely like an unhealthy obsession with 1970s psychedelic rock. Probably Benjamin Britten. Well, I've just done it 2 weeks. That's it. That's the window. I've given up. I think the best concert I've ever been to was I went to a performance of Marla 9 by the Halle and by Sir Mark Elder, and the very ending bit, the whole audience was like, oh, it was amazing. I can roll my R's. Be nice. I think that's the thing. Be nice and be yourself. Yeah.